Hi, I'm Julie Wheeler, Chief Human Resources Officer at Spectrum Healthcare Partners and Spectrum Management Services Company. Thank you for joining me for this segment of Leading by Example. I'm looking forward to answering your questions on how to effectively lead during times of change. You can also find more information on this topic in our leadership video series. Well, here's the deal. The pandemic will be over someday, however, change will not. Because change isn't an event, it's a process like the weather. Sometimes we like it, sometimes we don't. There are devastating hurricanes and tornadoes. There are beautiful, warm, sunny days. Just like there is always weather, there is always change. Even if COVID-19 disappeared tomorrow, our personal and organizational life as we knew it will be changed and will continue to change. Our first job as leaders is to help people understand the goal isn't to get through this pandemic. The goal is to learn how to respond and adapt effectively to the changes that are happening as a result of it. There is a lot of turmoil happening now amidst the COVID-19 crisis. While many of the changes occurring now are out of our control, we are also adapting as organizations and making strategic choices which are also requiring change. Regardless of whether a change is happening by chance or by choice, or whether the change is big or small, there are a few important things that leaders can do to help minimize the effects. 1, remember the people. Organizations tend to be very good at managing the mechanics of what needs to be done to support a change, but unfortunately, this is often at the expense of the people side. The human side of change needs to be managed with the same rigor and discipline as the technical elements. 2, get buy-in. Organizations can't effectively transform until the individual members of the organization are on board. The bottom line is people must buy in, and they must buy in at the individual level. But remember, individuals don't have to universally like the change. They just have to make the commitment to learn to live with it. 3, know that some aspects of change are predictable. We know from brain science that there are sequential and predictable stages that each of us go through when confronted with a change. 4, know other aspects aren't predictable. While there are predictable stages people go through, we don't know how long a person will spend in each stage or how intensely they will experience it, since this is driven by an individual's personality and his or her prior experience with similar changes. 5, use a common framework. Talking about change in a consistent way and providing a shared roadmap for progressing through the stages of change helps ensure people have a common vocabulary to talk about change and shared goals. I talk more about the change models Spectrum uses in our leadership video series. And finally, 6, communicate. In times of change, over-communication is critical. I can't emphasize this enough. You can learn more about effective communication in times of crisis or change in a prior Leading by Example video. This is Julie Wheeler, Chief Human Resources Officer at Spectrum Healthcare Partners and Spectrum Management Services Company. Thank you very much for joining us for this episode of Leading by Example. If you would like to learn more about this topic, please sign up for our leadership video series. Please contact us if you have questions or would like to access the other videos in this series.